Hitman Absolution on the PC was quite the looker when it launched in 2012, and hence we had high expectations from the PC build of Hitman Beta. Before we jump into performance parameters, let us take a look at the graphical settings the game provides. You can adjust the shadow resolution, shadow maps, anti-aliasing up to SMAA, SSAO, level of detail, texture quality, texture filtering up to AFX16, and super sampling. The addition of super sampling is quite interesting. Sliding it all the way down makes the image blurry, but if you slide it all the way up, you may face performance issues depending on your hardware. For some odd reason, there is no definitive ultra setting in the game, with many of the options only limited to high. Also, it does not seem like the beta is utilizing the DirectX 12 build, as we were expecting it earlier. Personally, I'm a tad disappointed with the limited settings, but I suppose that complaint is out of place given this is a beta. What matters is the performance, and we ran the game on a Radeon R9 290 4GB GPU along with an AMD FX 8350. This is also the same hardware specifications which the developer has listed as recommended. Performance was pretty bad during the game's first tutorial. The engine was struggling to run the game at 30 FPS during many occasions, and when the player entered a crowded area, the frame rate tanked. During the second training sequence, which takes place during the night, frame rate was fairly stable, and we averaged around 50 to 80 FPS for most of the sequences. Interestingly, the second sequence does not have a lot of crowd, and this is perhaps one of the main reasons behind a fairly decent frame rate. This also goes to show that you need a fairly solid CPU to pull this off. Switching our specifications to a GTX 980 and an i7 5960X drastically improved the performance. So the moral of this story is that the game desperately needs optimization. The PC version essentially needs to have two things. First, a frame rate capper, something we saw in The Witcher 3. Secondly, revamped graphical options to make it scalable. Fortunately, you can cap the frame rate of the beta. You can find the link in the video's description. So, how does the PS4 version stack up against the PC build? Well, the differences are expected. The anti-aliasing largely seems to be similar, with an extra layer of refinement on the PC due to extra samples it can utilize. Shadows and textures are crisper and better texture filtering. The game is due in a couple of weeks, and it kind of seems unlikely they will be able to optimize performance on both platforms unless they set a frame rate cap. We will report back with our final analysis, including a look at the Xbox One version when the game launches next month.
Okay, all strapped in.
Step 2. Locate the ejector seat handle.
Just a moment. Yes, found it.
Step 3. Pull the ejector seat handle.
Right. Here it goes. Pull.
I'm Diana. I'll take you to your quarters.
Someone likes to keep secrets.
Secrets are our stock and trade. Besides, from what I hear, you have a few of your own. I'm not like you, in case you're wondering. I'm in the Handler program. Agents and handlers work in unity. You know the expression, know your enemy? Well, that part is my job.
Knowing your enemy is only half the victory.
I know. You also need to know yourself. I'm working on it. I read your case file. Impressive work. Partly textbook, but I suppose field work never is. Tell me, what did it feel like? Taking lives?
Random. Disordered.
Is that why you came here? Why you let us test you?
Maybe I'm not the only one being tested.
Well, we are here. Basic training starts at 0600 hours.
If you like what we're doing, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. See you soon!